What's up? How's everyone doing? Back in 2019. Just wanted to jump on and share my final digs of the year. I failed miserably at not buying too many records, I guess in November and December. What can I say? 2019. I'm hopefully will not buy as many records because I have a lot to listen to, and probably maybe get rid of some records in 2019. Thin out the collection. Been working on slowly going through. So hope everyone enjoyed the holidays and wishing everyone the best for 2019. I'll just jump right in to the records. I got quite a stack here, so I'm just going to cycle through, and then I will get back to making spin cycle videos, kind of sharing more what I've been playing than picking up, because I hope to not pick up too many records. What we're listening to is actually Idris Akmor and the Pyramids. This is a 2018 release. Came out earlier in the year, and I wasn't able to get a copy locally. I passed up on a copy in England, and then thinking I would get one here in Montreal, but it took a while for it to arrive. But it's okay. I'm enjoying it now. Really, really great. I listened to it a bunch in my car on Apple Music when it did come out. Amazing artwork. This is, I think, my second Pyramids release of the past decade. I don't have any of the originals from the 70s. I have a reissue of one of them, but no original copies. But anyway, this is called An Angel Fell, and it is just solid, deep. You could call it spiritual jazz, but it just feels really good. It's on Strut, is the record label. So highly recommended release from 2018 by Idris Akmor and the Pyramids if you're into this type of music. Okay, so I'm going to go through these fairly quickly. This was one of the, I guess, rare records, let's say, out of this stack that I pulled. I don't know how rare it is, but it's the first time I had seen it. Sorry for the reflection. I'm not going to take the time to take all the covers off. This is Noah Howard, Space Dimension, on America Records. So this is an original pressing. Sorry for this awful glare. So some free jazz, but not too crazy. And the players on here, this is from I want to say 69 or 70. Doesn't say, but it's probably 70. You have Frank Wright, Bobby Few, and Art Taylor on here, except for you have Muhammad Ali on one of the tracks. So this is my third Noah Howard record, so really happy to add that to the collection. This was a record I picked up at a store I don't go to too often, a few times a year, and they had I didn't go on Boxing Day, but they have always have a post-Christmas sale, I think for the week after Christmas, 25% off. Picked up a couple records, and actually one of them is not in this stack. Just grab it. Okay, so this one, I listened to one side of it. I don't know if it's going to be my thing. If not, I'll pass it on or sell it. You can't really tell by the cover unless you know what the record is. But this is, I don't even know what so the name it's John McLaughlin, Dave Holland, Stu Martin, John Sermon, and the name of the album is Where Fortune Smiles. And this is an original Canadian pressing on Dawn Records. So that's what the label looks like. Never seen this record. There's some people I looked up on Instagram that have posted it that I'm familiar with. It seems interesting, so I'm gonna check it out and see if I like it. I don't know that it'll be something that really resonates with me. It might take some time. The other one I picked up for the 25% off sale was this John Coltrane concert in Japan. This was released in the early 70s, but recorded in 1966. Pharoah Sanders, Alice Coltrane, Jimmy Garrison, Rashid Ali. So he does Leo, Peace on Earth, really long tracks here, stretching out, and meditations. So I've picked up a bunch of these kind of later Coltrane releases. I think this is my third one. I think they're all in the stack, or maybe there's one more. So yeah, happy to add that to the collection. I had seen that in Amsterdam, but it was a bit more than I wanted to spend. So I was happy to find it locally and with 25% off. I didn't have a copy of this. James Brown, original soundtrack for Slaughter's Big Ripoff. The track that I didn't have on vinyl that I love is People Get Up and Drive Your Funky Soul, which I had on a CD on Motherload. But anyway, happy to add that soundtrack to the collection, to the James Brown collection, which is small as far as James Brown collection goes. Picked this up on the Boxing Day sale that 33 Tours has here locally. It was the smallest discount they've had over the years. The first 1 year was 40, then it was 33, 25, and this year was 20. The year before that, they had like different discounts for different genres of music. I remember some were 50% off, some were, I don't remember, but that was the first year I'd gone to the Boxing Day sale. So not as exciting this year. I still ended up racking up a pretty big bill, but it was kind of my my last little hurrah for the year, and knowing that I was going to be buying fewer records in 2019. So this was really cheap, and I wasn't sure because it's, you know, it's a bit later. I'm still missing Power of Soul, but I enjoyed this when I listened to it. Turned this month out on Kudu number 34. Willie Dynamite, original motion picture soundtrack, composed and conducted by J.J. Johnson, and Martha Reeves, is the vocalist on a few of these tracks. And then, as like most blaxploitation soundtracks, there's some vocal and there's some funky instrumentals. I really enjoy this one, so I was happy to find an original pressing of that. This is one that I had almost bought a few times online after hearing about it, probably through you know, the Instagram, vinyl community on Instagram. I was happy to find a copy here. I was very surprised actually, but this is Kenny Cox and the Contemporary Jazz Quintet Multi-Direction on Blue Note. So some Detroit jazz men. They actually have a record on Strata that was reissued also this year. So this one is from, it's their second one on Blue Note. I believe it's from 69, but I'm not sure. It's somewhere around there, 68, 69. And really enjoy this one. Check that out. You can hear it on YouTube. Here's another one of the Coltranes that I picked up that I didn't have. This is the other Village Vanguard tapes. I had seen, you know, I had never come across it locally. Figured I would eventually, and finally did. Excellent Coltrane stuff. I don't know, so much, you know, so many recordings from the early to mid 60s. This is one that I had regretted not picking up. McCoy Tyner, Enlightenment, trying to avoid this glare. This is beautiful record that I had passed on once and was kicking myself for. Anyway, I was happy to finally come across it again for a bit more than I had originally seen it, but that's the way it goes. Great, this is a live recording, and it's a double disc on Milestone, and you have Azar Lawrence playing saxophones, Johnny Booth, who I don't know, on bass, and Alphonse Mouzon on drums. And they really stretch out on some long tracks here. This is dope. Highly recommended if you can find it, which you should be able to. There's so much great McCoy Tyner 70s Milestones releases that are cheap, and they're excellent quality, especially for the price they go for. This is another Boxing Day pickup at 33 Tours, Larry Young's Fuel. I listened to this. I like it. I enjoy it. I don't know that I love it. I need to listen to it some more. Maybe it'll resonate more. It's definitely cool. I'd seen it posted and stuff, but I had never heard the music. Mid-70s on Arista, Larry Young. Definitely different than his 60s Blue Note stuff. I know the jam on here is Turn Off the Lights. A Rashawn Roland Kirk that I picked up. I have to listen to this. Still haven't listened to it. I don't usually pick up his records because they're usually more than I want to spend. This one was cheap and glossy, super great shape, glossy cover. So I grabbed it. Just a little bit of a bubble here on the edge of the lamination, but still very pretty. Some Canadian jazz I picked up. This is 60s. Pierre Leduc Information on a label I don't know, Élysée. So yeah, this is great. It's not like wow, mind-blowing, but it's really nice stuff. This is a original mono pressing. That's what the label looks like. Élysée. It's a deep groove. This is from, I want to say mid-60s, but I'm not 100% sure of the date. Obviously, this is a Canadian pressing because it's a Canadian record. And you have Michael Donato, who I don't know on bass, and Emile Normand, who I've heard of. I don't know. I'm sure I have some other stuff with him on it, on percussion. And this one's in like immaculate shape, other than this little little drill hole here. So yeah, I actually found 2 copies. I didn't buy them both, but I'd seen a copy of this at another store about a week earlier. But this one I think was the same price, but you had the sale, so I grabbed that. A couple Latin records I picked up on Boxing Day. Latin, don't buy a ton of this, but I was kind of curious. They were in beautiful, beautiful shape, and they're not records I'd ever seen. And based on what I see on Discogs, doesn't look like they're too, I mean, it's not rare, but I don't know that they come up too often, especially in this condition. So, same artist. One is a bit earlier. So this is Ray Barretto, El Rey Criollo. It's from, I want to say, mid-60s, 65, 66. Really enjoyable Latin jazz, not really. This is an original mono pressing on United Artists, so just like basically brand new, these records in great shape. And then the other one, which I think I dig a bit more, has a bit more, you know, as he gets into the later 60s, Latino con Soul, but both are really enjoyable. So my girlfriend's Latin, not that she, I mean, she grew up listening to Latin music. She doesn't know much about it, but I can put on some Latin vibes, and we definitely enjoy them, especially while cooking and stuff. And I love the cover on this one, Ray Barretto, Latino con Soul, also on United Artists. And this one is a stereo pressing, also basically brand new. I don't know, like, looks like they were never listened to or just very well taken care of. Was happy to find this locally. Booker Irvin, The In-Between on Blue Note, great record. I don't really know any of the other artists on here, actually. So Richard Williams, Bobby Few Jr., Severa Jeffries, and Lenny McBrown. But yeah, love this cover too. Booker Irvin from the mid to late 60s. This is a Liberty original. This I already showed in my last video. Couple more Blue Notes. Upgrade on this. I had a 70s pressing. This is Unit Structures by Cecil Taylor, and this is an original New York label. I don't believe this was ever released with the ear, so this was probably prepared for release before the sale of Liberty and then released. But yeah, so I think I had a 70s like stereo pressing and upgraded to this mono original. So I was happy to find that locally. And then the other one, which I didn't have at all, which I had passed on once here locally and regretted it. So this time did not pass. And this is a second pressing, also a Liberty pressing, stereo, Symphony for Improvisers, Don Cherry. So yeah, that completes the Don Cherry trilogy on Blue Note for me. This was a cheap heat. Elvin Jones, New Agenda, hilarious cover. This is on Vanguard, and he does Naima, the title track, Agenda. Honestly, for $5 or whatever you're gonna find this for. This one doesn't sound perfect. There's a bit of surface noise, but I was blown away by this. I didn't know what to expect. I kind of just did a blind buy, and I didn't regret it, honestly. This is, checked it. I'm pretty sure you can probably hear some clips on YouTube, but this is excellent. Little freak out moment behind me if you can hear it. So picked up these reissues. Henri Texier, Amir and Varek. This is some of the most beautiful music that I've ever heard. For me, it really speaks to me. I didn't know it at all. I'd never heard about it. It wasn't on like a, my want list or anything like that. Just gonna do this. Knocking about or flipping the record. Just a little silence. Anyway, I'd seen, I guess, a couple people post the reissues, so I decided to check it out online and was just completely floored at what I was hearing. So I bought one. I bought this one first, which is actually the second one. It was released later, and loved it so much that I had to pick up the other one. So take a listen on YouTube. Henri Texier, Amir, and Varek. If you like bass, beautiful, beautiful music. Really, touches me, and very, not soul music, but it's very soulful. These I picked up a while back, forgot to show them. Oh, this is ripped. That doesn't usually ever happen. Little split in my Jap sleeve, which I know people don't like the Jap sleeve because that's one of the reasons, because they split, but it's never happened to me on the ones that I buy. Anyway, pick these up, spark plug and Aquila. Aquila's a bit, the cover's in, some rough shape, but anyway, some groove and soul jazz on Prestige from the 70s. That you have, I want to say, I'm not gonna, I'll just double check before I say the wrong thing, but yeah, exactly. So you have Idris Muhammad on the drums, which is what I thought. You have Virgil Jones, Sonny Fortune, Frank West, Dave Hubbard, Hubert Laws, Leon Spencer on organ. Melvin Sparks, of course, is a guitarist. That's on Aquila. And then on Sparkplug, it's Grover Washington Jr., Virgil Jones, Leon Spencer again, Idris Muhammad again. Dope stuff. A few more here. This is Eddie Gale on Sagittarius A-Star. This is called This Is Hot. And this is, I had one release of his, another one, Inner Peace Suite, I think it's called, on Sagittarius A-Star. So these are recordings from, this past decade. Oh no, sorry, this one's 2002. Can't remember if the other one was that long ago or if it was a bit more recent. But either way, this is, so because of that, off the strength of that one, I decided to, after a while, I'd had it for a year, pick this one up online, because it was for a really good price, even with the shipping from Europe. And this one did not disappoint. It's beautiful, beautiful music. Highly recommended. You have Eddie Gale on trumpet, and you also have Prince Lasha on reeds. I don't know any of the other musicians, but this is recorded live at Yoshi's Jazz Club in Oakland, California. So yeah, and this is Sagittarius A-Star, just a plain label. Highly recommended to pick up these Eddie Gale releases. I know there's tons of quality music on here. You don't ever see these, locally in stores. You can pick them up online. A lot of the good ones are really, really expensive. This one is not. The Eddie Gale ones are cheap, so I highly recommend you pick them up. This is a reggae record that I picked up. Don't really know much about reggae. Kind of just spoke to me, took a chance on it. So this is Wailing Souls, Firehouse Rock. This is on Shanachi Records Corp. This is a Canadian pressing. So Green Sleeves, I think, was the original label, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is I guess who released it in Canada is Shanachi. And this really enjoyable reggae record for me. If you're into reggae, you probably already know this, but I was happy I picked this one up. I was not disappointed with my rolling of the dice or gamble. Couple more. Picked up this, didn't have Gary Bart's The Shadow Dew, Mizell Brothers. I can't say I like this as much as the slightly earlier 70s Gary Bart's, but it's still dope. It goes for quite a bit online. I don't think I would have spent that on it, but for $5, the cover is destroyed. Well, it's just, yeah, the cover's in rough shape. It's all taped up and ring wear, but for $5, I wasn't going to leave it there. And so yeah, glad I picked that up. And last, Mandingo, really cool cover actually. This one, Savage Right, it's dope, like really heavy percussion. I have a couple of the other Mandingo records. I don't know if I'll keep this one. It's cool, but it's not, I don't know if it's essential. Depends on what your taste is. But the cover is really dope. So yeah. So that's it. Just over 20 minutes. Not too bad. I hope everyone's doing well. And I'll be back soon with another video. Peace.